Hi, this is Sri from TechieTalksAI. This is a continuation of the robotic car building series. This is the second video, and here we'll see how to place the ESP32 board properly using the breadboard so that you don't need to solder anything. We will use our own techniques that we have evolved in our TechieTalksAI Innovation and Maker Lab in Trivandrum. This is where we conduct our summer camps. So this video has two parts. First part, we will see the assembly, section 3, and second half, we will again demonstrate the working of the car. So if you have already seen the working and the features of the car, you can skip the second half of this video. Okay, so now we will be using ESP32, not Arduino. ESP32 board, which is much more powerful and Arduino compatible in many ways. Now, I will show you the difference. ESP32 comes in different shapes and forms. So let's keep this aside. So this one has got 30 pins. This is ESP32 development board. It has got 15 pins on this side and 15 on the other side. It has got 30 pins. But for our robotic car, we will use 38 pin one. See this? This has got 38 pins. 19 on one side and 19 on the other side. Otherwise, they look and behave in a similar way. Okay, and these 19 pin or 38 pin ESP32 also comes in two different flavors. Let me open a packet. So these two are identical boards, same size, 38 pins, but the difference is the cable connection. This is USB-C. Can you see? This is USB-C and this is micro USB. So depending on that, you will need the correct cable. So this is a USB-C cable, and for micro USB, you will need micro USB cable. Okay. So when you buy this yourself, you need to make sure that you understand the number of pins needed for this, because these robotic car that we are presenting here, though we are including as a part of our robotic summer camp, this is also available as a kit form and it is fully open source. You can buy the parts and assemble it yourself. That is why we are making these videos. So when you buy, make sure that you know whether it is USB-C or micro USB. Accordingly, you will need the corresponding cable. That is one thing. Then another big problem that we have with these boards is these breadboards are this wide, and if you fix it this way, you will get access to the pins on one side. But this board is wide in such a way that on the other side, you have no access to these pins. Do you see this? So we can't use this breadboard, or we can't use any of these breadboards, whether this one or even the longer one, we can't use, because one side pins we will not have access to. Okay, let's check the big size breadboard. If it fits this big size breadboard, also if you fit the board, see this? When one side we position in such a way that one side we have access to the pins, on the other side we will not have access to these pins. So that is a problem. So how we solve that problem is we cut the breadboard in the middle. Okay, we cut the breadboard in the middle using, you can cut using a simple mini hacksaw blade, or you can use a drummer tool like this and cut it easily. So cut the breadboard in the middle. And for our robotic summer camp, we provide the students with the split breadboard. After that, you can carefully plug in the ESP32 board in such a way that we have two rows accessible on either side. See this? So that makes it very handy. Small breadboard, we can fix it. Okay, then comes the chassis assembly. So in chassis, so for now we'll remove the motor. We'll come back to the motor again in the subsequent episodes. So this is the 3D printed chassis TechieTalksAI Shogini.com chassis that we give our students, and then here we can stick the breadboard like this. So let me stick this. Okay, so that fits neatly, and we have access to all the pins on either side. And next thing that we should do is we connect the buzzer and test the board. So buzzer is connected like this on this side, and two jumper wires. One is ground fixed on the ground pin. Another is the positive of this is the passive buzzer. So when you buy this buzzer module, you buy the passive buzzer module, not the active buzzer module. Active buzzer module can generate or auto generate a fixed buzzer tone, whereas in this passive buzzer, Arduino or the code that we load on this ESP board can produce any tone of any audible frequency. So we can generate different types of siren. So let me repeat, we get the breadboard, split it into two in the middle, and mount the ESP32 board like this, and plug in the passive buzzer, connect the ground to the ground and the positive of the buzzer to GPIO 23. G23 is written. Now we can connect. In this case, it's a USB-C cable, and we load a buzzer test script. Okay, so buzzer pin 23. Let's load it. It is compiling. So it is very important that when we assemble these projects, at every stage, we test and confirm that the connections are okay. See this? Can you hear? Different buzzer tone. This passive buzzer volume will be only so much, but you get the point. So just connect two wires to confirm that the board is working and the passive buzzer connections are okay. We have few more connections left for the robotic car, which we will see in the next episode. We will keep these episodes short. And now what we are going to do is we are going to repeat the same demo video, which is 6 minutes long, where we also talk about our summer camp. If you have already watched the video, you can skip the remaining part of this video. So thank you for your time. Let's build small bit at a time. See you in the next video. Hi everyone, this is Sri from Techie Talks AI. We are extremely happy to launch our most sophisticated robotic car. This is the car that our summer camp students will be building. We'll be offering this car as a DIY kit, and it is fully open source. We will go through the features of the car, but subsequent videos will cover from basics to complete car building all by yourself. This is a fully 3D printed robotic car with multiple features. Let's look at the features. So first is AI gesture control. That is, you train a model using the Google's teachable machines. So in AI gesture control, you can enter your teachable machine train model URL here and load the model. And once it's loaded, you can show gestures like this: see, stop, right, left, etc. Okay, and these commands will be passed on to the robotic car. That is the idea. So that is controlling your robotic car using gestures and using your own trained model. No app installation required. The wow factor: control your robot like magic. Here is the video. So just for demonstration, we are using two objects. It can be your toy, it can be multiple objects. For left and right, you can use your hand gestures or any object like this. Next is manual remote control. Okay, so this uses Wi-Fi, works on any browser, clean web dashboard interface. The initial section is for setting up, and here we have complete control. The robotic car has got auto mode and manual mode. In auto mode, it will work like an obstacle avoiding robot. And then it has got all these controls: forward, smooth left, stop, smooth right, etc. So all these controls can be used to interact with your robotic car. So this is a super remote mechanism that we have created, and this is extensible. As and when we add new features, we'll be adding them onto this page. So these are all one-click controls, and this also has fully autonomous auto driving mode. Advanced behavior gradually slows down near obstacles. It stops at safe distance around 20 centimeter, reverses slightly, scans left and right, and chooses the best path dynamically. Continuous scanning while moving. The wow factor: feels like a thinking robot, not just a car. And next is the incredible MIT Scratch-like block programming. Okay, so visual drag and drop. Like this, you can drag and drop, move forward, all the essential controls, including if distance is provided, if distance is less than this centimeter, the obstacle distance, you can do things. Then all LED controls, okay, including the rainbow, LED off, police light, then different sound effects, police siren, all these sound effects. And once you load all these, you can click on run script and it will execute. Do you believe this? So this is also part of the car itself. Kids can create logic like move forward 2 seconds, turn left, repeat loops. No coding required. But when you generate script, when you click on this button and generate script, you will see equivalent coding so that kids will understand the connection between this syntax and the blocks. Wow factor: kids program robots like building Lego logic. So blocks are converted to real robot commands, support sequential execution, looping action, time movements, and visual feedback. Like when it executes, it'll highlight the block that is getting executed. The wow factor: see your logic come alive instantly. You can switch between these modes anytime: AI gesture mode, Wi-Fi manual mode, auto obstacle mode, scratch programming mode. Okay. So this actually has 4 modes. One is a gesture control mode. Another is manual remote control. Third, fully autonomous obstacle avoiding robot. And fourth is scratch like block based control. Remember, it has got built-in light effects and sound effects. And the beauty is no software installation required. You can just browse our application endpoints. And subsequent videos we will cover how you can build this, or you can buy the kit through us, or you can also get completely assembled car from us. The links will be provided in the description. This summer, don't let screens win. Let your child design in 3D, print their creations, and build a real obstacle-avoiding robotic car. Join online or at our Trivandrum Maker Lab. Summer starts April 6th. Book your seat now.